Okay, so following on from the swing, let's talk about entry point and also the depth of the divots that we want to take. A lot of people struggle with inconsistent strike because I don't think they are focusing their attention enough on the area that they are trying to hit. And I don't think it's something that they practice enough. I think we're all going to be very honest with ourselves, and we don't practice this area of the game enough. Partly down to facilities that maybe where you are a member or where you play, but also that we just choose to do other areas of the game over maybe working on a bunker plate. So the best thing that I can offer you in terms of getting a consistent entry point, which let me just find a rake, which I can rake the area. Is what I would call like the line drill. And what it is it's just giving, holy Jesus, that's hot. Cool, you can see how, wow, it's an interesting amount of sand. It's not a lot, but there's just enough. So, let's test your consistency. So I'm going to take the ball out of the equation for a minute. Just draw a line in the bunker. I'm not sure how well you're going to see that on camera, but there is a line. All I'm then going to do is I'm going to work up that line, and I want to imagine that that's my entry point, and the golf ball would be sat just in front. In fact, let's finish off the video with one there. So I would work up this line, focusing on getting that entry point as near to that line as possible. And I can see that I'm doing a pretty decent job. Remember, there's room for error. Doesn't have to be perfect. That was a little bit behind, but there was probably enough speed because the club head finished above my head that that ball would have got out. The only other thing that I want to mention in this video is the depth. Now, obviously the amount of sand in the bunker is going to nearly dictate that, but I also think we've got to be careful that we don't want to feel that we are digging into the sand. Even though we know we want to hit sand first, I think if too much energy is going downwards, it's not going to get the ball going forwards in this certain situation where the bunker shot is a fairly standard shot. A bit like pitching and chipping, I think you have to be careful about your radius of your low point in terms of the relationship to the ground. If you see yourself getting really low, it can mean that you hit the sand way before the golf ball and also then get the depth of the divot a little bit too down. Definitely something that I notice in my own game, that I feel that I nearly get my knees working down too much. I probably want to feel that as I'm going through the shot that I'm actually trying to get taller, a bit like chipping and pitching. If I can feel that I'm turning my chest and extending upwards as I go through the shot, I think I would do a better job controlling the depth. I don't want to be seeing you really feeling that you've been told I've got to hit sand first and feel that you're getting really low and really deep, because I don't think you're going to get the energy transfer. And I think a lot of times, and maybe even my demonstration in that video which didn't pop out of the bunker, maybe my entry point was a little bit too before the ball, maybe I got a little bit too low and then I just didn't get enough forward momentum. I really didn't feel on the face that I made any sort of contact with the ball. So the line is definitely my go-to. If someone's struggling with inconsistent strike, I'd be asking them to practice with this line. Doing it without a ball allows you to get very external focus away and just focus on trying to feel that you are hitting the line at the right point. If you can then work up the line and then maybe have a ball at the end, or what I quite like to do, in fact, if I get another ball, is to then do a practice swing and then a shot, practice swing, then a shot, in the hope that I start to translate those feels or that consistency into an actual shot. I'm trying to be nice here, I'm giving myself good lies here. So, he's going to do two demonstrations. Practice swing, great entry point actually. Actual swing, now, see, like I was pretending really that I wasn't very good in a bunker. I was quite happy with that. Entry point just behind the line, but enough speed through the shot, club finishing up here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Now there's a slope there. Is it going to come down the slope? So, for entry point, the line drill is my #1 go-to. I think be careful about the depth of the sand, a bit like chipping and pitching. If you feel that your divots are getting too deep and too much, just feel that you are extending up through the shot and feel like your chest is turning and then extending upwards towards the sky. And then this to bring into a rehearsal situation where you're focusing on entry point and then the depth. Finish with the club above your head. I think you get out of the bunker a good few times.